when I won first time Arnold Classic and Arnold coming on stage, I'm like,
Hi, Brian Lally here, Hollywood native, and you're going to kick back and watch an episode of Brian Lally, Hollywood native. I'm sitting here as usual with my partner in crime, the man of the hour, day, week, month, year, decade, century, Scott Williams. Scott, how are you today?
I am great, Brian. How are you?
I am fantastic, never better. Who do we have on the show, Brian Lally, Hollywood native today, Scott?
Today, Brian, we have a great guest, Oksana Grishina.
So I'm very proud to have a former student of mine, 14-time world champion, Oksana Grishina, on the show today. Oksana comes from a small town in Russia, and she was actually held back by a lot of people, as what happens with champions, and through pure willpower and determination and training like a mad person, Oksana went on to become a 4-time Ms.Fitness Olympia champion and a 10-time Arnold Classic champion. After she was told she couldn't do it, the funny thing is, when she first joined the Arnold competition, that she wasn't allowed to meet him unless she won, and she came in second place, and her goal was standing right over there, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then she came back and won 10 times. And she tells you, he said, "You again?" Over and over and over. She's one of a kind. She became the top in her field. And she's still going. She hasn't stopped yet. So here we are. All right.
Start her up.
Oksana, so great to see you. Thank you for coming out here to our little studio here. And Boris, too. Boris is off camera, but he is here, and I want to thank
Yes.
Boris, too. So it's a
and thank
Little
you so much for having us. This is huge honor, trust me, and I'm just so happy to be here, really.
Glad to have you.
So what we do is we bring in artists of all types, and we just like to know how they got started, where you're from. So if you tell us a bit, I know you're from Russia, but the people want to know where you came from and how you got to where you are. So we start in the beginning.
Yes, well, I'm from small city in Russia. It's very west part of Russia, between Poland, Germany, like very west part. And it's very small city, but it's beautiful. So, and I know it's hard time now, but I'm inviting everyone come to
Come
visit.
check it out.
Yes, because it's on Baltic Sea, and I
Okay.
grew up on Baltic Sea. Every time I was just running to swim and going home. It's just beautiful. It's
Right.
really beautiful place.
And what is the name of the city?
Kaliningrad.
Okay.
And it's former German city, actually. It's called Königsberg before, and now it's called Kaliningrad.
Okay. So do you have siblings, brothers, sisters, or?
Yes, I have sister. She's 6 years younger, and she's my like older sister. She's a wisdom woman.
Okay.
She's absolutely incredible, and she helps me now with all the shows in Russia that I promote.
Okay. All right. And I just found out your father is a musician?
Yes, he finished musical school and he playing on all instruments.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, like guitar, bayan. I don't know if it's called bayan.
It's accordion?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
said it
No,
in
it's
Russian.
okay. Also call it a
Yeah.
squeeze box in the South.
Yeah.
They do.
Piano, like yes. And I always love to listen to him.
Do your sister, you have any of the musical?
No, I start sports,
Okay.
and my sister start to follow me. Of course, she starts sports too. But I think if I will do music, I will be pretty good at it. Yes, I'm. Yeah, because Boris playing piano, he studied musical school also,
okay.
and once I just wanted to learn Moonlight Sonata. Just I don't know, I wanted to learn. That's it.
Okay.
And he started to teach me, and now I know how to play Moonlight Sonata, and nobody will tell that I have no musical education at all.
Oh, wow.
And it's just without notes, just by memory.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
That's good. So you started sports. What did you originally play? What field were you in sports?
Gymnastics.
Okay. Oh,
Yes,
well, that makes a
yes.
lot of sense.
It's rhythmic gymnastics.
Okay.
Rhythmic gymnastics is a little bit different from art gymnastics because I know in United States art gymnastics is more popular, but not like rhythmic gymnastics. For your audience, rhythmic gymnastics is when girls using apparatus like
Okay.
Gotcha.
ball and hula hoop, and doing it's a lot of flexibility, coordination. Yeah, it's a little bit different from art gymnastics.
And is that where you learned your work ethic for gymnastics?
Yes. I did gymnastics for about 12 years.
Okay.
And I got my Master of Sport degree. This is the highest I could get. And in Russia, because in Russia, this sport is so popular. And if girls got, let's say, a Russian championship title, then she probably may won Olympics game.
Right.
So because this sport is very popular in Russia. And
Yeah.
it's obviously very selective and a lot of competition.
I think we grew up with Olga Korbut.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of gymnasts come out of Eastern Europe that were amazing.
And Olga Korbut, she is art gymnastics.
Okay.
So it's different kind of sport
Right.
that Americans, like our sport is not really introduced to United
Right.
States. Yeah.
But those are the ones that we saw.
Yeah, recently I was on set with one actor, and I'm not gonna say his name, but I was talking about gymnastics, and he said, "Show me what it is, what they're doing." And I show him video how flexible girls and how they catch this ball like in any
Oh,
parts
yeah,
of
yeah. Yeah.
body. He's like, "Oh my God, I have never seen anything like this."
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, "How possible?" It's so like it's Olympic sport. For
Well, yeah, I
many
mean, I've
years.
seen it. We've all seen
Yeah.
that. It's amazing. It's like
Yeah.
it's a combination of expert juggling and
Yes. Yes.
spin the ball going up, somersault, it just
Yes.
yeah, the precision
Right.
is amazing.
And
with
the
people's body.
level,
Yeah.
like when I did gymnastics, it was total different gymnastics than it's now. It's insane how flexible every girl are, and what they're doing is just like, I don't know how they do it.
Well,
It's really level up every year.
yeah, I think it's like that. I grew up playing basketball for many years. So did David. Obviously, we're different generations, but as the generations go on, things that people do are just had no idea.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
What-
Everyone's just like a freak
Yes,
athlete now.
yes.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it a struggle growing up where you came from, or were you guys middle class? Or
We are all poor.
okay,
Like especially my family is my dad is, I'm from military family.
okay,
So obviously we moved a lot. We never had place to live. Like we always was waiting, and we just rent places.
gotcha.
And rent system is a little bit different than here.
Oh yeah,
It's like it's not an official. So like anytime the owner can come and just say,
kick you out.
yeah, just get out. Like you can't stay for next month or so.
Yeah.
And of course, I remember all these days very well when my mom was so scared because they threat her, like, go, get out now. And she called to my dad, and my dad came, and he's like, it's okay. He always so positive, like, no
Right.
worries. Okay, we're gonna move, and we're gonna have amazing dinner, tonight. We're gonna celebrate. This is good. So everything, any struggle we go through, he made it like it's good. It's
Yeah.
for good.
That's nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's very positive man.
That's good. But even though he was in the military, they would kick you out?
Yes, absolutely.
Jeez.
Absolutely, because we don't have rent system like it's here.
Right.
It's just now maybe it's more official, but when I used to live there and my family, so we moved 20 times, 20 moves
Wow.
before we got a place to live. And I used to live 5 years in Lithuania, in Riga, where my that was study for second higher education. And that's why I started gymnastics in
Right.
Riga, Latvia.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when you moved, were you settled in a house when you started gymnastics, or were you still doing
No,
gymnastics and moving all over?
no. I studied gymnastics in Latvia, in Riga.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a place where a lot of families like live in one place. How to
All right.
say what it's called? It's like we had such a big,
Community?
yes,
Yeah.
community,
Yeah.
like one kitchen for, let's say, 5
Oh,
families.
communal living. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
gotcha.
like a commune. Yeah.
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 And so after Latvia, we moved to Kaliningrad city, and that's where we moved a lot in the city.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I grew up with a friend whose father was from Latvia,
Oh
but we
wow.
had no idea. We thought he was Italian because we didn't, we had never heard of Latvia. You know, it was a long time ago. It was in Los Angeles. Obviously, we have a lot of people from other countries, but his father was a blacksmith. His father worked for the city and made tools by hand because he was from another world. I mean, I always thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
And my buddy Paul, he'd show us these tools, you know, like these hammers and chisels and things. He's like, yeah, my dad made these. And I'm like, what do you mean he made these? My dad, you know, bing, bing, you know.
Yeah.
And his mother was from Germany. So both of his parents were immigrants. But it's funny, I'd never heard of Latvia. I was like, isn't he Italian? You know? No?
It's beautiful
Yeah.
city. It's very beautiful country and city, and I just really want to go back someday to Latvia and just see where I studied. Just, sometimes we have
Sure.
wishes to go back
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
see how it's really
A
is.
feeling of nostalgia, a nostalgic feeling of where you came from. So cool.
Yeah.
Right. So you said it was very big in Olympics gymnastics in Russia. How far did you progress when you were young?
I won Kaliningrad championships,
Okay.
my city championship, and at the Russian championship, I believe we were like in group, we were third place. And probably it was the highest we could get because, my genetics, it's not for rhythmic gymnastics. My genetic, I always was muscular. And of course, that's what I struggle a lot in sport, in my sport, because I have to do everything to, that my muscles would not grow. But it's genetic. And no one from coaches could explain me. They were just screaming and, like all the time yelling, you fat, what did you eat at night? Like, what's going on, And
Wow.
I didn't ate anything. Like I was so strict. I was so
Yeah.
disciplined
Right.
It was
because
just your body type.
yes, because I love the sport and I was big fan of the sport. And of course, it was painful for kid, to hear all this
Yeah.
complaints all the time, especially when you didn't do anything. And your friends like eating ice creams all the time, like chocolate, ice cream, and she's still skinny.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and you're trying to understand what's going on. Like, why it's so different? But I never gave up, of course. And I got my Master of Sport degree first from the group.
Oh, okay.
First.
Right.
And I was so proud of
Right.
myself. I
Wow.
was walking like this
Yeah.
Right.
That's
around
great.
my coaches. Yes, I was like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's funny, but that's, led you to, being a champion later on. You never gave up. So when did you come to America?
2007.
2007?
2007, yes.
Okay.
That's when I finished gymnastics, I found fitness.
Right.
And because we finished gymnastics so young, like 14 years old, 15 years old, you're done almost. But with all this knowledge, everything is like going on and you can't stop it because you have so much to share and so much to use. That's why I found fitness and I start to compete as fitness competitor because my gymnastics background like helps a lot, during
Led you
some,
into that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was pretty fast in fitness. I won Russian championship, I won European championship overall, world championship overall, and next step, what else? of course, to become a professional and try myself in United States because all professional competitions are here and Olympia.
Mhm.
Right.
Of
Yeah.
course, Olympia was the goal, just to standing on the stage and around these, famous girls who I saw just on tapes in Russia. And yeah, it was just, the goal moved me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what did you find out was different here, going for your new gold in America? Did you find that these women you're competing against, that they train different, nutrition different, supplements,
Everything,
everything?
everything different. From mentality, like everything, food, training, weather, like climate.
Yeah.
It's also a fact, and obviously the freedom. Like,
Well, yeah.
because when I compete in Russia, it was kind of, how I feel. It's like every time somebody stop me from what I want to do. When like I want to go to, let's say, I think I'm ready for world championship and I'm coming, and I said to the president of federation, I think I want to go. I could be ready. No, you can't until I said so. So this is what I didn't like so much. I'm like, come on. Why you should wait like everybody else? You should wait until you're ready, until I tell you that you're ready.
Yeah.
Or even when I travel with guest performances as a fitness competitor, also everybody was so tense because I feel so free, because I do what I love. I know that for sports, we don't have much time. So that's why I want to use it. I want to meet new people. I want to get new experience. I want to talk to people more,
Yeah.
and in Russia, it's like they always push you back. Like you can't do what others can't do, you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
So, of course, when I said that I want to try myself as a pro at the Olympia stage or Arnold Classic, they all know you never you never can get there. It's like it's not possible. And that was the key when I said, okay, now I have to go
Yeah.
for
Right.
sure,
Yeah. I'm gonna show you.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. So, and of course, without thinking, we went to United States.
Oh, were you together in
Yes,
Russia?
we
I didn't
from
know
the
that.
same city, and he
Oh, I
was
didn't
my
know that.
first coach. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
awesome.
Okay.
So was it a struggle? Did you just pick up and go, or did you like save up to make the move?
The hardest part was to get visa, of
Hmm.
course, because back then it was difficult time to get visa to United States. And I don't know, it's just maybe magic moment because from all the people who was waiting for the visa, only maybe 5 or 4 people who got
Wow.
USA visa.
And
And
you both got one?
yes, because we came together and they asked us questions, and he's like, okay.
Well,
That's
that is
amazing.
magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Law of attraction,
Yes,
manifesting. So,
yes.
and we keep looking at Boris, who's off camera. So, but I find that amazing that both of you, that only a few people got it, but both of you were able to come together. That's great.
Yeah, that
That's
was
great.
really magic moment because from a lot of friends who was trying to get USA visa, I know that they got denied, and we were probably ready for this denied, but
Yeah.
that was
You came straight to LA?
no, we came to first it was Detroit.
Okay.
And when we came first to Detroit, it was like, this is America?
Yeah, I bet.
I saw on TV it was different.
Yeah.
Like, what? So, yeah, step by step. And then first time we went to Arnold Classic as a visitors in Ohio. And we were just impressed by, all the stars. They were just standing and it was like, oh my God. And Boris, he knows bodybuilding history so well because I'm not well at it, but he teach me always
He
like
knows the
this.
history.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why he's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And not, oh. So it was like this first walk on at the Arnold Classic. It was like full of emotional, speechless. And
Yeah.
when we come to the stars, we couldn't even say anything. We didn't speak English. Like Russia, big fans.
Nice.
Man, Brian, you know what I love doing?
Yeah.
I love tapping that subscribe button.
I love it too, son. And just like all your dates, I tap it last. But nothing's as good as tapping this button.
You see Brian here? He's not always doing the best. Financially, mentally, physically, for sure. You want to help keep Brian off the streets of Hollywood? There's a way you can help. Join us on Patreon. You want to tell them what we got on there, buddy?
Yes, we have the general admission, we have the backstage, and we have the VIP all access pass. So please join today. I'm due for a bath.
In the arms of the angel, always here.
So it was a lot of gestures, you know.
Right, right.
But it was fun. It was fun.
So I keep thinking I have to bring it up. Have you seen the most recent Arnold documentary, Schwarzenegger documentary?
On Netflix?
Yeah,
Is it documentary?
yeah.
No, not documentary. It's serial, right? Okay. She didn't see. No, Boris probably saw.
Have you seen it? The 3-part? Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it just came out. I watched it the first day, and then I told my students they have to watch it
Documentary,
because this
right?
is, yeah. Well, it's a 3-part documentary of his life, yeah.
Oh, wow. No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah.
I'm on part 2, but
Yeah.
it's great.
So I make my students now watch classic movies. I don't know why any other teacher did. There's an assignment for a movie in between class. It's 2 hours in between class. And everybody has been doing it. But I came in on Monday class. I was like, okay, whatever movie I've told you to watch, you're watching the Arnold documentary. You have to watch it because it's just amazing where he's got to. But every time you keep saying they would pull me back, they would pull me back, I was like, they told me I couldn't do it. Well, that's the Arnold documentary, and he did everything that they said he couldn't do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that's,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Interesting.
amazing. Yeah.
I'm excited to see it now.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's great.
How I miss it.
Oh, it's great. No, it's really, really good. It's an American story. It's the American dream. He came here and he was, for Mr. Olympia. I didn't know that that was much different than Mr. Universe or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, I'm not a young man and I read a lot. I think Arnold's great. I've always followed his career.
Yeah.
I always say that he should have been nominated for an Academy Award for Terminator 2. I thought the job he did in that was flawless. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
it's
Everybody's
his
getting.
role.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, but he was great. He was great in his approach to it. So, not a great actor. Sorry, Mr. Schwarzenegger. But a personality that I've followed, and obviously his story of not quitting.
Yes.
His story of endurance, his passion, and everything that he achieved because of it. So, yeah, it's great. So, when you say you went to the Arnold Classic, I keep wanting to say, I saw Arnold recently. I saw him. I mean, growing up here, I've seen him around town, which is always cool when you run into him. You're like, whoa, there's Arnold.
I
But-
remember I was competing at the Arnold Classic for how many years? Since 2007 or 8. Yes, since 2008, every year. And 2014, I saw Arnold backstage, of course, and I would never come and bother him. Only first place
Right.
can get this chance, to get interviewed by him. And of course, I just saw him. I was like, oh, his neck is so clean. Like you watch some certain parts, like, wow, he has amazing charisma. He has
Yeah, oh, yeah.
this energy is like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. Amazing. And 2014, of course, when you compete in fitness, you never expect how you're going to place because you just don't know. It's not a UFC fight, right? You just did your job and then you're waiting for results.
Right.
And 2014, when I got first time Arnold, when I won first time Arnold Classic and Arnold coming on stage, I'm like, oh my God, especially after diet and without water, your mouth is so dry and oh my God, how,
Yeah.
And yes, huge help was because when he started to hear my accent and he said, "Oh, that's good. I'm not the one with with an accent." Like, yeah, and yeah, it was amazing. Like first time, and then was 9 more interviews by him when I won another Arnold Classic, and he's like, "Again, again."
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, he must have respected you because of where he came from. You had the same drive and you were a multiple champion. He must have really had a good feeling about
Yes,
that.
he always has special relationship with international, like because he understands, especially people who speak not well. He just
Yeah. He
understands
knows the
background.
struggle comes.
Yes,
Yeah.
struggle.
Right.
And when I see competition, Olympia competition or Arnold Classic competition, and when someone international won, like last time Olympia won Heidi Chupan from Iran. And it was so touching because he barely speak English, and his respect to the sport is different than when someone from America win. It's like you just feel it. I know just the story how he got in United States just for the Olympia. It was so difficult for him. I know how many steps he did, and
Right.
it's incredible. And when he won, it gives people real hope that it's possible.
It's funny, yet your father was in the military, his father was in the military, and Arnold was born right after the war. And then his father was a police officer. So it was the same type of upbringing. And he talked about all the men in Austria being beaten down because lost the war. But I'm just looking at all the comparisons, all the similarities between you and Arnold Schwarzenegger to come from a small town, military background. Yeah, this is just very interesting. But I try not to learn too much about people because I want to hear, and then it's just like working off of it, just like Meisner. I hear something you say, and then I think about something else to ask about or talk about. So I find this fascinating. I'm very interested in where everybody comes from and how you got to be where you are, which is pretty up there. So you won multiple times. When did you start to coach? Does Boris still coach you? Do you still?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes. We are still like a team
Right.
together forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I trust him. I trust his knowledge. I know he knows about bodybuilding more than anyone else.
Yeah.
And great team because in bodybuilding, especially in United States, what we notice the difference, like in Russia, it's more education. You got education, and then you have, ability to work as a coach, and it's not how you look, it's about your knowledge.
Right.
But what we notice here is the bigger guy, like the bigger physique, has a lot of like clients
Sure.
than small guy
Sure.
who has more knowledge, and they just don't look at
Because
him.
the
Yeah.
proven they see
Yes.
they just see
Yes.
the results and they
Yes,
think that
yes. And they not realize because this huge guys, he always has the genetics, and he will teach you how he does training.
Right.
Right. So I did this, do this. It is gonna be this, like it's gonna be.
But it doesn't
and you're
work
gonna
that way.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
work this way.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we just more focus on, on training online, and I'm more interested in work with people on choreography, like for fitness, to create routines,
Right.
and because that's what I love the most. And a lot of girls coming from worldwide and from Spain and from China even to Los Angeles, and I create performance for them. That's what I love.
Yeah. So when you're, say you're back in 2014 on a hardcore prep, what's a day in the life, like the discipline and like what's a day in the life as far as like your regimen?
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
Same thing. Same thing. Just day in
It's
and day
just,
out.
yeah, the same all over again. Of course, you have to sacrifice everything and you have to know how to say no to your friends. It's pretty selfish schedule, but that's the only way it's work
Yeah.
in sport. So you got to be focus and discipline and in every single moment. So it's just cardio, morning cardio, breakfast, like, and it can't be, you can't mix it with something. You have to focus. Like I always telling to my clients, you can't come to the gym and think about your problems or think about something, or it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Maybe it sounds crazy, but trust
Or like
it's
have your
yes.
phone out in between sets.
No phones.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You have to think about what you're doing. If you're doing biceps, you have to focus on it. Breathe, because breathing is the most important part of training. And if people depress or like, they're not even breathing, just stuck in thoughts, and that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Even cardio, you simply walk. You have to breathe. You have to listen to your body. That's so important. And I'm talking about this because I catch myself sometimes.
Sure,
A lot of
sure,
problems,
sure.
and that's why training. I'm like, oh, stop, remove it from your head. Come on, focus, and just start to breathing. And sometimes it takes some like 5-10 minutes to get like really into workout.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's very important.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it, like, I've heard in the past, like the mind muscle connection of like really focusing on like if you're like squeezing your chest, like
Yes,
you're
it's
really
not
just
just words. The workout will be total different, and the fact from workout will be different.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm preparing for the show, of course I'm trying to focus, and because at night, let's say how to say идиомоторная тренировка, идиомоторная. I do mental workout, right?
Sure,
It's called
yes.
when you're going through like when you're preparing for the next day workout.
Yeah.
Let's say acrobatic, and I'm doing my routine in my head, like going into sleep. So I'm preparing for the next day,
Yeah.
and that's how I wake up and I'm mentally ready.
Right.
Nice. Yeah.
I know that in teaching acting, the acting teacher always teaches what he needs to learn most, which is why I'm always talking about preparation. So what you're trying to teach these people, the fundamentals of breathing and no phones, and do you find that people from other countries, I mean, I know what the answer for me, other countries focus more and want to learn more, or they're hungry like you were for knowledge to compete at a different level? Do you find people coming from other countries or?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's total different on stage.
Yeah.
Their eyes are different. The energy from the eyes, this hunger, it's like you can see he's happy just to be, how much he loves it. That's people, through these people, you see how much they love the sport.
They want it more.
They appreciate it more.
Yeah. Definitely. So many people grow up here just spoiled and have things. We come from like participation trophies
Yes,
and whatnot.
And we live in here for how many years? Like 10 years, right?
Where?
In United States.
Almost 20.
Oh. I'm so bad with numbers, that's for sure.
You're too busy
20
working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 years, and sometimes I catch myself that I become a little bit unappreciative some things, that's why I always come back to the time when I came to United States first, and I was like, oh my God, come on, remember how much you wanted it, how much, sometimes I catch myself also.
Yeah.
Living 20 years, it's time.
Yeah.
It's-
Most people don't know a true struggle like that to not
Yeah.
have freedom like that. So
Yeah, that's why I always, when I work with girls who wanted to win Olympia, not just to be on stage like I wanted. I just wanted to stay on stage with other girls. But girls coming who work out with me, they want to win. And I'm like, okay, are you ready to sacrifice? No, my job is first place.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, that's, it's so big misunderstanding. Like I can't understand. Like you can't. You have to put like an acting. If you want to become an actor, you have to really focus. Like that's your life. That's
It
everything.
takes everything. Yeah.
Yes, and that's I can't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like some Americans can have that, but I feel like it's having that coming from nothing or no freedom really
Yes.
instills that a lot more often.
It happens. Yes, they may won Olympia because of talent, of genetic, but it's not the champion who, like, you're not the raising champion, how to say, true champion.
Right.
Like, it just happens.
Yeah.
Oh, I see
And
what you're saying,
usually
yeah.
it's, they not really appreciate it. It just happens that's it. But then it's gonna be fail, definitely.
Yeah.
Any champ, we all have more fails than winning victories.
Right.
So that's why how next you're gonna react after you fail. So and usually champs like this, they always stop.
They
doing
fade
it.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But champs who never give up, they go through so many fails, struggles, and challenges. And when they got this trophy or medal, that's something which gave them opportunity to do more for the sport, not just for themselves, but for the sport generally.
Well, they say that you don't learn anything from a success. You only learn from your failures. And I believe that to be true. How is training for you, being that your father is a strength and fitness coach, how has training for you changed? How have you seen it change over the years?
Growing up, he pushed me, but we definitely weren't regimented like I'm sure you were at a young age. It was very much like see what you like, but my parents always like put the right tools in front of me. I played football and basketball, so like I was always trying to get big for football. It was never that like cutthroat like you need to be doing it. He presented it, but he never like forced me to be completely on it. But
That's good.
yeah, when I got to college though, it was very military style, like weigh in, like they weigh you in like cattle. And if you're not what weight you're supposed to be, they're like feeding you shakes and everything and
Yeah.
crazy workouts. But yeah, because I used to weigh like, I'm like 220 something right now. And in college, I was like 265, 270, just like they had us, like on some military, like if you're not big, you're off the team.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's definitely getting to those higher levels. If you don't get super disciplined with it, then you just fall off. So
Right. Yes, my family was never involved into the sport in sport. Like in my training process with gymnastics coaches, and she said, "Okay, gymnastics coaches, you're like, if it's your second mom, it's okay with me, absolutely." They never got involved, but she always asked me, "Oksana, how you feel? Do you like it?" And obviously, I loved it a lot, but there was no a day when I back from gymnastics without tears. I always was crying, always, every workout.
wow.
And she's like, "What happens? Nothing. What's happened? Nothing." "Oksana, you crying every day from gymnastics. Like, what? Maybe you should tell me." And I got so offensive, not
Defensive.
defensive when she asked me. I'm like, "Don't talk about gymnastics at all. Don't touch the subject." And she's like, "Okay, okay." I don't know what's going on, but she like,
Was
yeah.
that from your coaches were like
Yes,
saying all
yes,
that
yes,
negative stuff?
yes.
Yeah.
But I would love to miss school. Like, I prefer to miss school, but saving time and energy for gymnastics.
Yeah.
And that's probably the key, what I love the most. Like, I absolutely love gymnastics, and school gosh, I was just, I was alien there. Like I was so different girl in school because everybody was different to me. I wasn't belong in the school
Right.
because I was an athlete, and everybody at this age was starting, crazy behavior
Right.
when kids behave,
Yeah.
like especially teenagers and juniors. They start smoking, they start drinking, they start partying, guys like girls, girls like guys, and I hated it. I wasn't ready for this at all. I
Yeah.
was so into gymnastics. That's why I was like alien. And thanks God I had one of my girlfriend. If she go to school, I always go to school. If she will not go to school or change or switch school, I probably will switch school for like with her because it's all not my people. It wasn't my place. Yes.
Yeah.
Gymnastics, that's the place where I felt
Yeah.
fine. But and after the school, when when I got call and like, oh, what it's called when students after a lot of years meeting each other.
Like a reunion.
Reunion,
Oh, okay.
yes,
Yeah.
reunion. And they call, Oksana, are you coming for reunion? Never. I hate you all. No, don't call me.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You've been watching Brian Lally, Hollywood native. Now I want to talk to you about something I'm really passionate about, and that's teaching acting. So I co-founded LOLAS Acting School with my son, Kyle Lally, Lally Acting School. I've been acting for a long time now. I have 100+ credits on IMDb, hundreds of plays I've been involved with over the years, and I just want to share that experience with you.
What we do differently here at LOLAS is we give you practical advice that you can use on a movie set, on a play, an audition, anywhere. We give you the foundation to build yourself as a great actor.
If you come to us, you don't know anything, we can teach you everything you need to know to be comfortable on a set and to excel. Don't just listen to me. Look at what our students are doing. Daryl Wesley, who is writing on 2 hit shows, The Game and The Upshaws, and Ben Barrett, who's a series regular on The Politician, Megan Davis, who is playing Amber Heard in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard story. Come check us out. We're at the Historic Arc Theater in the NoHo Arts District. You ever want to try plant-based eating?
I have.
What, you're a little confused, overwhelmed, you don't know how to get started?
Definitely.
Well, there's a simple answer to that. Go to Debbie Chew's Chew On Vegan YouTube channel. Debbie Chew is a plant-based RN. I've known Debbie for over 38 years, and she's very good at what she does. You go to the channel, and there's over 300 recipes. They're simple, easy to make, and they're delicious. If you want to try it, you just might get healthy. Give it a shot. Chew On Vegan.
I hate this time, and I just, no.
But that's the heart and the mindset of a champion is usually feel like an outsider because
Yeah.
you're willing to do things that other people aren't going to do. And as you said, they're smoking and drinking and acting like teenagers, and
Yes.
you're not interested in that because you're doing the gymnastics,
Yeah.
which is,
You had like focus and vision
Yeah,
on
we
something,
we
and everyone else is.
nothing similar.
Yeah.
Nothing between us. Absolutely.
yeah. Kobe Bryant, when he was in high school, he had a girlfriend for a while, and she would sit and watch him play basketball for like hours. He'd take her to the gym, and he'd just play, and she'd sit there, and after a while, she was like, yeah, I think I've had enough. But you hear these stories of people that just did what they did. They had to follow their passion. I didn't know about Jack Nicholson. I read an article from the 1970s, and I've seen all those movies, and I liked them, but I had no idea how interested he was in finding the truthful art of acting. And he went to different coaches, and he was in LA, he was always searching, and I had no idea. Obviously, he became very successful, but when I read that, it just made sense that he was searching the whole time, and then it's not an accident that he ended up
Right.
at the
right,
top.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'd love to read about champions of all kinds because they have a journey and they have a focus that a lot of people don't have. What you gonna
Yeah.
say?
his writing too. But getting back to the champion thing, it's like you might feel like an outsider, but that's what it takes to have that discipline and focus that led you to that. So it's awesome.
So, why did you come to acting school? How did you, or why did you?
Uh, I love acting, and I always perform on stage. When you step on stage, you are a performer. So you have to learn, you have to be respectful to audience, respectful, right? To the audience, and you have to know how to behave, not behave, how to be on stage.
Right.
And I'm absolutely big fan of acting. I always was. But in Russia, there was no way you can get into acting school or university because it's so selective, and only certain people
It's like
can get there.
prestigious, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
prestigious.
And
It's
that's,
like
it sounds like what you said about people pulling you back, telling you you're not ready, that there's other people telling you can't be an actor, right?
oh yes.
Yeah.
I never even mentioned about acting.
Right.
Never.
That's a
But
shame. It's a
yes,
shame.
but my dad, he loved movies, he loved actors. He was reading about all the actors worldwide. Goika Mitic, Goika Mitic, his favorite hero, like who's connected to sport and to acting. Goika Mitic,
I'm not familiar.
Was playing all Indians,
Indians
all
movies.
Western Europe.
He was before Arnold
Okay.
Schwarzenegger, before like everyone else, like with always on the horse with
And what was his name?
Goiko Mitic.
Goiko
I don't
Mitic.
think it's in the documentary.
Germany.
Western German.
In all Westerns.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look.
I must.
40 movies.
He must have mentioned him in the documentary. I remember something about
sure.
westerns because he must have.
I'm
He
sure
must
because
have.
he's hero. Yeah.
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 Yeah, and and of course, like my dad, he was always when we watch movies, and he's like, "What he's gonna say? What he's gonna say?" I have to know all the phrase, and I know that's how we talk in family, with phrase from movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
And Boris so involved in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Us too.
Yeah.
I quote stuff all the time with my dad, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
How I would allow it to be.
in my family, yes. So
Oh.
yes,
Do you know Goika, who's Goika Mitic is?
yes, he's like,
Yeah.
I was invited, Boris, for the first time, and my dad started quoting, boom, boom, and he sees how Boris know all the movies,
So
and Boris
they-
answered,
yeah.
he knows well,
Yeah. So
very
they connected
well. Yes.
on that.
Like, okay, he's my guy.
They bonded. They bonded on that.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, he can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's how I just love movies, and
Goika Mitic.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. I think that is the guy on in the documentary.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah.
So
that's how I start. And in Los Angeles, please, if you like to study acting, you can go and study acting.
Right.
So, and that's why my first school was Playhouse West.
and that's where we met.
Yes, that's where we met. And you were the first one who gave me compliment about my acting. I was like, oh my God, I came home. I was so happy because that time when I couldn't find the way to act, and I was so frustrated. Tony Savan was my first teacher. And I remember I was preparing the scene with a partner, and he said, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. Not much, not enough energy. Like, it was for 2 weeks. Like, for 2 weeks. I'm back home. I was like, oh my God, Boris, what to do?
You're coming home
I
crying
can't
how you
find
were
it.
back in
Yes,
the day.
why? Yeah, and I'm glad that he didn't let me go with this, that he stopped me and said, find it. How much time you spend for acting? I'm like, 2 hours a week. You think it's enough? How is your sport? Is it the same? I'm like, no. So I understand. He was
Right.
absolutely right. And I start to do extra classes with Brian. And that's when I found this, like, oh, and then I back to Tony class, and he said, yes, that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
because we had that one class.
Yes, one class. Yeah.
See, this is what you talked about. For me, is what you talked about when you said that you didn't have the same genetics and they were just telling you do this and that. But I saw how frustrated you were. But I knew it was my job to figure it out for you, what you needed. So I went around because it was the language. It wasn't the work ethic, it was the language. And I went and I found a Russian student. Danny R., I think was his name.
Yes.
And I surprised her in the improvisation. He came to the door, and she opened the door, and he was speaking Russian. And I was out in the audience, the teacher's seat, and she goes, and she looks at me, and I'm like, I'm not here, just go. And then it came alive. Because I knew you had it in you. I saw it in you, but I knew it was just the language. And the teacher has to help it. The teacher can't just keep telling you it's no good. The teacher, in my opinion, a good teacher has to know what you needed. And that's all you needed to bring it out for the first time. And then afterwards, you were a little emotional, and I just was like,
Yeah.
I knew it. You can't be a champion without knowing how to work. You know what I mean? So I knew that
Yes.
about you. So
And I came to Playhouse West audition first, like audition when I wasn't sure if I can be allowed to the school because I didn't speak English.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how much words I knew. Like I knew I may understand, but I can't pronounce any. I can't express. So you may feel, but
Yeah.
it's like you
I can't imagine.
person with disability. You
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
explain.
You're already in your head enough as
Yeah.
an actor, and I can't
Yes.
imagine already being in your head plus the
Yes.
language. That's
And it's always funny when someone don't speak English well, and I found another guy. He's my friend. He didn't speak English. I think he speak English even worse than I am, and we got good friends.
yeah.
We both didn't speak English, but we understood each other so
Yeah.
every time before school, after, like it just you just understand how person feels.
right.
Like yeah.
Did you pursue acting work after that, or was it all for the just getting more comfortable on stage?
Oh wow, that's Playhouse West. That's the basics. That's the school of basic, right?
Yeah.
Like what this acting about, and like just understanding you have to play like ping
Right. Ping pong, tennis.
Yes.
Either one. Yeah.
And that's what I learned a lot. And I still keep studying acting. I study with Melissa Scoft. I know
Oh, yeah.
you,
I do know
Melissa
her.
Scoft.
She's a casting director, too.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I know
Yes.
her. Yeah.
With Melissa Scoft, I don't remember how many years, probably 1 or 2 years I was with Melissa. And then I study at Extra Mile with Glenn Marshauer. I don't know if you know him.
I don't know him.
I'll show you.
Okay.
So I study and until COVID started. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I also learned that you haven't stuck in school forever, especially when you practice, because sometimes you just forget, like you have to take some breaks sometimes. Because sometimes I feel like I'm losing a little myself, my personality,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain
No,
it.
no, I
but
feel like it. You feel like you're losing a piece of yourself and you need to step back for a while and just take what you've learned and let it set inside of you.
yes.
Yeah. And not think so much about, oh, I'm doing a technique or an exercise. Just let it set in. Then when you get out there, it's more available. Sure.
Yes.
I mean, I know that.
Yes, yeah, that's what we talk with Boris about. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I felt like, okay, I probably need a break. Yeah. But it helps a lot for me to perform on stage, definitely. And that's why my performance are a little bit different, not a little bit, maybe a lot different from others competitors. Because that's not just during movements, that's living story, that's just living on stage.
Right.
It's not just for, we have 2 minutes only on stage. And I want to remember these 2 minutes forever, not just like, sometimes in gymnastics you coming and you don't remember what happens, but I want to remember and I want to play. I want to see audience. I want to see their reaction and give them feedback. Like I want a connection. So that's why I study with acting, and it helps a lot with all this preparation, and it gives me a lot. Especially my last, I don't know if you saw my last performance, Joker, when I smoke on the stage.
Did you send me that? I feel like I might have seen.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
smoke.
Oh, no. Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
That was huge.
Right.
Like when I saw this movie, I was so impressed. I'm
Right.
like, oh my God, what's going on? I saw like I thought director gave him so much freedom just to be who he is, because it was amazing acting, like everything.
Yeah.
And I was impressed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, he's amazing. He's a savant. He's he's got it. There was a movie he did with Mark Ruffalo and Julianne Moore. I might be wrong about that, but he in the movie he kills someone with a car. It's a car accident, and he kills. Might have been a child. I don't remember the exact. But I remember this. They would say, "Hey, we're going to get something to eat. You want to go out to eat?" And he was like, "No." He's just going to sit in the hotel room and ponder the situation of him killing somebody. So he never wanted to go out and have fun. He was just going to live out the circumstance of a man who's killed somebody. You know what I mean? And there's people, not a lot, but there's people that people don't understand, that make fun of that kind of stuff. And I just think he's great. I just think whatever he's doing is right.
Yes.
For him, and it sure comes out in his performances. So
Right.
I remember in The Master, in the early scene of The Master, he was in the department store, and he just like picked up a standing lamp. He got in an argument with someone, he just threw it at the guy, and that was all improvisation. That was all. But I thought he was great in that too, and I thought he was great in that because that was more of just a disturbed person, and obviously it was a character. But I just think he's great. So. What are you going to do? So.
Yes, I was impressed. Like 15 minutes of this movie I watched with earpods. And I was like, Boris, this is the Oscar. That's for sure. He's going to get Oscar, because it was 15 minutes of movie. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was sitting to watch this movie like, how to say, like a critical.
Right.
I didn't know what to expect, and I knew there will be, like, I wasn't ready. It's gonna be great. Like, I was critically,
Right.
how to say.
Me too, especially because like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
because the
yes.
Heath
I was
Ledger
like,
Joker,
okay, let's see.
yeah, everyone
like,
compares it to that. Yeah.
15 minutes. And then I said, how American audience could accept this movie, because this is so drama. This is not for like American people, like I wasn't sure, because in Russia, in all other countries, people was applauding to this movie, standing ovation, gave standing, because it was just amazing.
Right.
And it's exactly about American society. It's just, I thought it's amazing drama.
So do you want to pursue more acting roles now? Or you're
I got my SAG AFRA officially.
Yeah.
Awesome, congrats.
Yes,
That's
like
amazing.
yesterday I was eligible.
Yesterday?
Yes, yesterday, like
Wow.
official card.
Yeah.
It's not much roles for me. It's just badass Russian woman, killer. So I'm okay with that. I can do it. It's no problem.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
In this TV show I did here, they're wearing the sweatshirt. I stood outside this door and did improvisation, all this stuff, for 6 hours. I'm in it probably 15 seconds,
Yeah.
20 seconds. and I was outside this door doing all this crazy stuff for 6 hours. But the thing is, people like it. It's a very cult thing. It's like, I'll take any role. I've been at it a long time. I've been in SAG and SAG-AFTRA for 27 years. And this is a great day of my life filming it. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So I like to act. So
Yes.
you say, well, it's not much of it. Well, I think it's all great. I just think it's all great. So,
Yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
got a Super Bowl commercial with
Yeah.
Melissa McCartney.
Oh,
It was so fun to work with her. It's
Yeah.
just amazing. It doesn't matter what project. It's just you meet people, you meet stars, you talk to them. It's just awesome. She was absolutely fantastic, funny and sweet, like
Yeah.
really nice,
Yeah.
humble,
Yeah.
so humble, and it was great experience. And yeah, like I've auditioning for some big movies, and not yet, but it's amazing work. It just to get an audition for such like cool movie, it's just awesome.
oh yeah. I auditioned for Macbeth, the Coen brothers Macbeth. And I was up for it, and I did not get it, but I'm just like, and it's on tape. It was a long audition. It was a bunch of scenes, but I was like, hey man, it's the Coen brothers. The Coen brothers. I'm not bitter or jaded, and my dad was an actor. I grew up in Hollywood around actors. I still think it's the coolest thing in the world. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
I dig it. I like meeting actors. You know what I
Right.
mean? I like reading about, as I said earlier, I like reading about greats
Yeah.
and what their journey was. So,
Absolutely. I was auditioning for, can I say this or not? Doesn't matter, right?
Let's keep it impossible.
Yes. Let's kick it. Let's kick it. I was auditioning for Mission Impossible.
right?
I was like, oh my God. And the role was perfect. Like tough girl, commander, like boom, boom, boom. And I think I was like, I don't know. You never know, right? Who they want to. But I think I felt good about my audition. And my agent, she called me back and she said, Oksana, they sent to everyone notice that they cut this role from the movie. But at least
Yeah.
nobody got it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
it was so much fun.
Yeah, it happened to me in one of the Fast and Furious movies. They never filmed it. It was like, I had a pretty good in on it, and it went well. And then it was like, I didn't hear nothing, but they took it out of the movie. Never shot it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Still, though, just
Yeah.
the excitement of auditioning and it being a possibility that you could be on set.
Right. But interesting story is Boris was always like behind the camera, he studied filming, he studied acting, but not like me being on set. He's
Right.
more behind it. And then my agent, she noticed interesting look in him. She's like, why don't he want to try acting? And I was talking about it. I'm like, Boris, why don't you want to try really? And he's more like, he always was shy guy who don't like to talk and like just he more behind the scene. And then he said, okay, let's do it. Let's kick an impossible. Let's kick it. Let's kick it impossible.
Hey, you got a great look.
Yeah. And first audition. And what do you think?
He gets
He
it.
booked it.
Nice.
And it was Barry. The
Oh,
TV show Barry.
wow.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then another audition, and another audition, and another audition. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
So like,
that's awesome.
and
Congrats.
all roles are so great. He has natural talent. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, when person can't lie at all.
He does not explain it either.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't know too. Yeah. But you just see it from outside, like, he just can't lie. That's why it's all,
Yeah.
natural.
Real.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about this Oksana Grishina competition? This new with the medals.
Oh my God, I should bring you the medal. Oh my God, maybe next time I'm gonna bring you medals from my show. Gosh, how I forgot it.
It's
I
okay.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. But yes, it was fourth year or third year. Fourth. Oh wow. It was fourth year I promote show in Russia.
Oh, okay. So you left in
Mm-hmm.
May, and that's because we were going to do this, and you left in May, and that's what you went to do. It's the fourth year
Yes,
that you've been
fourth
doing
year.
it?
Yes. And it's just, something I went through. And in my time, there was nobody help me to get opportunity, to
Sure.
everything I just did myself. I built this road to become Olympia
Yeah.
champion, and that's why I know how difficult it is for Russian athletes and for international athletes, which is close to Russia, like Iran, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, all these countries, and I know the athletes because they always asking advice from me what to do, and I know how difficult it is for them. I know. That's why I decided to give them opportunity in Russia so they can win pro card in Russia, professional card for the first place, and they become professional. And after this, they can compete as professional athletes.
Dang.
So, of
That's
course,
great.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of total different work, not artwork. It's more
Right.
business and
Sure.
it's more political work. You
Yeah.
have to know all the terms and the law and
Yeah.
everything. But when athletes, when I see athletes, I change their life, and they going, forward, they step forward with their career, and that's what they love to do, and that's just made my life. It's
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You're creating that opportunity to
Yes.
pull someone else up
Yeah,
behind you.
especially for international people. And you know what I told you about Olympia, right? That sometimes American not really appreciate it.
Right.
I'm telling you, the same in Russia. I brought the show in Russia. Like that's the opportunity you wanted so much,
Right.
And again, I see international athletes more appreciated.
Right.
Like I brought this show for you to get pro card for Russians, right? It's easy. You don't have to go somewhere. This is the place. So it's the same. I think we all doesn't matter what country it's. I think it's the same. People not appreciate when it's right here.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't take advantage
Yeah,
of it.
and
Yeah.
people from Iran, from other countries, I see they coming, and I see how they fight for this, how much they struggle, how much it took for them just to get this
Yeah.
medal. Or from Turkey.
Yeah.
This year we got winner from Turkey, guy from Turkey, and I know how many years he was trying to get this title, and it was just so.
10 times.
He
10
lost
times
10
he tried?
times, yes. And
Jeez.
this time he's a real champion, I can tell you. I was interviewing him, and he's a professional already right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be so gratifying to see the looks on their faces when you helped them out like that. That's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What does the future hold for you?
I'm staying open. I training right now and preparing for Olympia this year. I know it's gonna be tough preparation, but I have performance which I want to share with my audience, and people sometimes ask me, "Oh my God, you compete for so many years. Like, what's keep you motivated?" My creativity, I think, the performance I want to share with
Right.
audience. So that's what keeps me motivated. I really want to do it.
How is your knee?
Knee is good,
Yeah.
right on place.
That's good. You need that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It held you out of the last competition, right?
it was calf tear.
Yeah.
Tear, not knee. Knee was
Yeah.
previous year.
Oh, I thought it was it was a rotator cuff? Is that what you said? A cuff tear?
Yeah, calf
Yeah.
tear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. But you were very disappointed.
very disappointed. I couldn't believe it.
And you apologized to everybody.
Yes, because
And then
that's
I
what I'm doing this for, you know. Yes, obviously for myself, of course, but also for the audience, because when I create routine, I'm not creating it for myself.
right.
I creating for audience.
Yeah, that's
Like
tough.
Michael Jackson, for example, I
Smooth
wasn't big
criminal.
fan of Michael. Yes.
Yeah.
I barely knew about him from Russia. I heard his music, but I wasn't like big fan of his personality. But I knew that's what American will love. Not American, audience will love, because everybody love Michael.
Right.
And that's why I create this routine for audience. But I have to learn a lot of things about Michael. I have to read about him just to become
Right.
just to feel, because it's all about attitude.
Yeah. The last woman to sit in that chair handled all of Michael Jackson's travel. And she
Oh,
used to stay at the
really?
Neverland Ranch. Yeah, she traveled with him, and yeah, for many years. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Interesting.
so you were upset. You apologized to everybody for
That's
getting
why I
hurt.
apologize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I wrote you on Instagram,
Yes.
and I told you.
Thank you, and thank you for your support. You are all the time, like, I'm so appreciated, and
Yeah.
it just really, it means a lot for me.
Well, you're welcome for that, and I just thought you needed to know that you didn't let anybody down, and the work you've put in all these years, you know. So, all right. So I was like, don't you don't you apologize for working for all those years, you know. So, you know, everybody knows that you were the most disappointed person, right? You're the most disappointed. But anyway, but I'm glad you're healthy again, and you know, so
Hopefully, I will survive till, and for Olympia this year, and I will do my thing, what I
Yeah,
wanted.
you know.
you got it. I'm excited to see.
Yes.
And you're going to do more coaching? You're going to expand your coaching, or
Probably we're gonna do maybe more shows in Russia to promote more regional shows and maybe pro qualifier shows, maybe professional, even Olympia qualifier. That's the goal.
right?
So that will be amazing. But yes, coaching, yes, but it's like it's it's just for people who really want result, because it's just really hard for me to explain person what he wants,
Right.
like
Yeah, you want someone that
yeah, like
has
just
their own.
yesterday one guy, of course we want to help, but I training, no results, like nothing. Okay, first question, what do you eat? Do
Yeah.
you eat? Do you like how you train? Do you discipline with your diet? And no, I don't eat. I eat one time per day, and that's it. That's enough.
I'm not gonna follow diet.
And I'm not gonna follow diet. I just need result. 2 weeks. I need biceps like Arnold Schwarzenegger. How we can work with people like it's
Yeah.
not, it just no way.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because basketball players like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, even Jerry West, these are people I grew up that were Hall of Fame, you know, champions, multiple time champions. They talk about coaching, you know, basketball players. These are nowadays are people that are so amazingly talented and gifted. And they come out and they say, okay, if you want to be a champion, you have to do this, 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 and this. And the players are like, oh, practice is over. I got to go. And that's why they don't stay coaching, because it's
Yes.
maddening. It's maddening that they know what it takes and they tell them what it takes. And the only time that they listened to him was when Larry Bird took the Indiana Pacers to the NBA finals. And he said that was the only team that listened to him, and they didn't win, but they went to the finals one time. It's maddening for people who know what it takes to get there.
Absolutely.
And people would be like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh no, I just want a bicep. That's what I want."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta have that killer instinct of the day in and day out. It's not just a little phase.
Everybody wants to be a winner until you tell them what it takes
Yeah.
to become a winner.
Yeah.
Like then oh no, okay, I'm gonna go other way.
Yeah.
Where's the door?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, you've definitely cracked the code. I
Oh, thank
congratulate you
you.
on all your success. I respect it big time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much.
It's
Thank you.
wonderful.
It was wonderful interview, right? Amazing. Amazing.
You want to promote like Instagram?
Anything you have, website, Instagram?
Whew. Guys, please follow my Instagram, Oksana Grishina. Just Oksana Grishina. That's it. Simple name, simple last name. I hope guys will put some.
Yeah.
He can put it in there.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I know it's difficult. Yeah, follow my Instagram and just that's it.
And support her on her way to the next Olympia championship.
Yes, please, guys. Please, yes. Your support trust me, will means a lot to me. And I'll do my best. There's no other way.
And if she does her best, it will be enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Cool.
We good? Did you have the sound on, Scott? Okay.
We got to start over.
Awesome. Wow, thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you.
really fun.
That was great.
right?
Yeah.